Hi everyone. So today I thought I would show you how to do the Assomption Finger Weaving Pattern. And basically the reason why I'm doing this is because I really wanted to do this design here and I did not have any video on how to do it. I looked on the internet and all I had was this page. So it was very difficult. It took me a lot of time to learn it, so I thought I would share. So basically, I'm going to continue like my previous beginner videos, and I'm going to show you in two stages. First, I'll show you all the strings that you will have to interlock, and then I will weave in the second step. But normally, once you've got down the pattern, you will do your interlocking at the same time as you weave. And I will show you one round of that at the end of the video. But I mostly wanted to concentrate on giving you a video to show you after each row that you do what your strings should look like. And this pattern, the one that I'm going to be doing in the video, has 6 rows that you do before you come back to the starting position again. And every 6 rows will afterwards be exactly the same as the first 6 rows. So I'm going to take some pictures of what your strings should look like after the first row, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And I may be showing those pictures from an earlier point in my work, but just note that they will be the same no matter what set of 6 that you are doing. Okay, so this is how the setup began. So I like to always weave onto a secondary little stick there. And I like to do it in a way that my top first string will be on the top section. So that string is the first string on the top. And then the last string will always be on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to come back on after I've done 6 rows and return back to the starting colors again so that you can see a little bit of what's going on before we start. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to weave this pattern, which basically is doing arrowheads in the center and multiple lightning along the edges. So if you see right here, I've just started the top part of this arrow right here. And we've got some lightning patterns beginning here on both sides. Now, I definitely recommend that you do a small sample practicing how to do the arrowheads and then do one practicing the lightning, because it is a lot more complicated once you have this many strings, and it'll really give you a good base. And I do have videos for these. So what I've started out with here is 8 strings of each color. I know this only looks like 4, but it's because I was short on this color, so it's actually wrapped around and folded in half, so it only looks like 4, but it is, I do have 8 strings, so 8 of everything. And this is 12, and then it returns to 8. And when you have an up and a bottom, you end up with 4 of each color, okay? And then in the middle, it's 6 up, 6 down. Now where I've gotten to right now is back to the starting position. So all these colors here have returned here. I know it's hard to see because I still have my top layer tied up, but these colors here all have 4 each. This one has 6, and it matches here. So it's like starting at the beginning. I just wanted to have a base going for you to see kind of what we are doing first. Okay, so oh, another thing to note is I am going to show you this in a flat position because it is way easier video, and I think it's easier to see what I'm doing. But when you do it, you should either put your work up so it's hanging on something, okay? Or you can put it at the edge of a table like this, and I'll just clip them into clips. like that, and then I will work down here, okay? So, and then I can even put this clip upwards, and I can use it when I want to put extra strings up here. For the demonstration, we're going to be doing it flat down here. Because I'm doing it flat, I've been having a harder time getting a tighter weave. So you can see in some of these areas, there's checkerboarding. So another reason why I was having trouble with the checkerboarding is because I'm using acrylic. Because I really wanted to use all these really nice colors, and my wool was very subdued colors. So because I used acrylic, it just doesn't hold as nice as wool does. Okay, so in total I have 46 strands, and if you divide that in half, that's 23. And so I'm going to be starting on the 23rd thread in the middle. Just like the chevron, when we were doing the chevron demonstration, when you pick up the 23rd, you're going from right to left, and you're picking up this one. So basically you're going to the exact middle of your work, and you're taking the string to the right, and that is going to be the start of the first weft. And from the top section, we are taking the 23rd string over, but you take left of center. So we're taking this one, okay? And then that one is going to go under all the, for the time being, and go out. Now, what I'm going to do to make it easier to demonstrate all this is I am going to just put my top section up here for now, so you can see that I've got this here, and same with this one. Just going to put it up. When you're working on the left side, you're going to be doing your interlocking with the strings on the bottom. When you're doing your right side, you're going to be interlocking with the strings on the top. So we're going to start here. It's going to be row 1, and we have to go 6 rows before we get back to the starting position again. So this red here is going to interlock with the 3rd white. So if you notice that it's coming over top, okay, and it's going to go underneath, and this new red strand is going to become part of the bottom layer for now. Then you're going over to the 3rd blue. It wraps under, and it's going to become part of the bottom row. Then this blue comes over to the 3rd light blue, okay, and it wraps over to under, and the blue one is going to end up down here, the dark blue one. The light blue one travels over here to the 3rd green, and it's going to wrap, and the new white is going to end up down here. Actually, it's not white, it just looks white. It's actually a light blue, okay? And then we're going to go to the 3rd dark green, and it's going to wrap and come down like this, and the new green is going to go to the side. Okay, so now you're going to be doing the same thing, but you are doing it on the top section on the right hand side. So you're going to take your red, and the red which came from the top on the left, this red is going to go to the 3rd white. Okay, you're going to wrap it. This time it comes from underneath and goes over top, and the new red goes into the top section. Then you're going to go over to the 3rd blue and wrap it from under, and the white is going to come up into the top. Then this blue is going to wrap around the 3rd light blue, and it will come up into the top. The light blue moves over to wherever it is, has to be exact, the 3rd green, wraps and comes up. Then this green is going to go to the third darker green and comes up, and then this will continue out to the side here. Okay, now you have to do the changing of all these strings are going to go to the back, and the ones at the back are going to come to the front. Okay, so you keep this to the side here. I'm going to start with the one on the left. And by the way, I will show a little bit of video coverage for this portion here. I just do a little bit of video of how the colors end up after each row so that you can use it for reference. Should you get mixed up and you're wondering if you did it right, you can always look at the video to see if your colors are lining up properly. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to continue using my scissor with these two fingers and the pinch with these two. So the top one is going to start always with the scissor, and then we're going to go down to the bottom one and pinch it to the top. That scissor. Then we're going to go, then you're going to look, because we're just starting this off, and right now you can't see the new string that we did, but if you pull this, see if I can do this without getting my stuff mixed up. When you pull this over more, okay, you can see that the green is, it's really hard for me to show you this, but it's not coming when it should. So you have to go like this, and you will note that the next string is actually this one here, because if you look at the top, you can see that that was the old other color green, and this is the new green. So that's the one that you're going to pick up next. This is where we were, okay? So starting again, scissor, pinch the bottom one. Now the next one is actually going to be this one. So that is a scissor, because now we're bringing this one to the bottom. Pinch, scissor, pinch. And as you go, you're going to notice that except for the displaced colors, you're going to be trying to keep your sections close together. So I just did a pinch, so scissor, and you see I'm looking for the dark greens to stay together. Do this dark green, so it's going to be scissor, pinch the bottom one, and this one you can see now is the next one. It was the old green, but now it's going to be the light blue. So that's going to be scissor. So you have to be very careful that you watch the order of your strings. So like I said, if you look down here, sometimes these get all crossed. So look up here to see the order that they're supposed to be. Okay, so it's actually this one, then the scissor down, and then this one up, scissor down, this one up. And now again, this blue one looks like it wants to come right now, but it's not actually next, because if you look up here, you can see that the next string is this one here. So that one's going to go down, this one's going to come up, and now the blue one is next. Scissor it down, pick up, scissor it down, pick it up, down, up. Same situation. It looks like this one's next, but it's actually this one right here. So you're going to go scissor down, up, and now it's this one. You can see that it was the old blue, so it falls next in line, down, and then up, down, up, down, up, and again, looks like the red's next, but it's not. It's this white, so down, up. Now this one's next, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because we went through every third of this row. There's going to be a white before the new color. There's going to be one blue before the new color. There's going to be this blue before that blue. Okay, and eventually we are going, the next row, we're going to be wrapping around the, we'll still be doing the third one, but after that one, we'll be doing the second one. And then I think the second one twice because they'll come up from bottom. And then we'll be doing the single one here. So we're going to be forming a pattern going this way. Now I am going to try and tighten these a little bit. You have to kind of, if you want to have a tighter weave and not have these show through, you have to find the thread that's showing there. So like that's the red one right there. So I'm going to pull that, okay? And then you have to kind of do that for all of these. You have to find the one to tighten. And the first row is a lot easier to do that than the second rows because it's easier to know what string because you only have that one color under there. Now, I'm not going to show this on the video every time because it does take some time, and I'm not going to be doing it perfect right now because of the position I'm in. It's not in a hanging position, and it's really kind of difficult for me to do it like this. Plus, I can't pull on it as hard as I normally would because this tape that I have holding this stick down to the table is not very strong. And if I do my normal pull, it pulls everything off. So just know that normally this would, you would pull it, you know, a lot more tight so that you don't have to be dealing with so much loose weave, okay? Now, what happens with the, where is it? Is it this one? Okay, so the one that was to the side here is going to join the top set. So continue on with the left side here. We're on pinch, scissor, pinch, scissor, pinch, scissor, pinch, or down, up, down, and this one's next, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. This one, up, down, 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 up, and then this one here, which we put to the side, will go to the back. And then again, you have to work on tightening all this up. The weft that ends up on the farthest right will always end up being the first top thread. And then the weft that we're going to be pulling through here will end up being the bottom left thread. So that's something that I'm always looking for as I go, because if it doesn't turn out that way, then I know I messed up somewhere. Okay, so for future reference, I've done the first pass, and I'm just taking a picture of what the colors look like now after the first pass. Now the bottom row still has its 4 of each, but the red is now 5 on the bottom, and on this side we have new colors that have been brought down like that. And now for the top row, you can see that we have new red, white, blue, light blue, and green popping up, and the colors on the top are now like this. And on this side, we've got some of the strings being brought up. Okay, so we can see some single new colors on the top after the first pass. Okay, so we've done one round now, and now we're going to be repeating the 23rd string on the bottom. It's going to be this one, which is the exact center in this case. So that's the one that goes off to the left. And then on the top, you're going to be doing 23 from this side. Okay, so this is why it's always good to count, because I knew from experience that it was going to be this string here, because I know that it's going to cross over this one, the one that we pulled this way. I know that this one goes that way, but when I counted, this was only 22. So what can happen is when you're tightening your yarn, sometimes you lose track of which one's up and which one's down, and you end up with some of the ones down, up, or up, down. So that's why it's always nice to count and check that you're in the right position before you continue on. And if you count from here to here, it's 23. Okay, so I'm going to pull that one through over here. So I've got this one here, and it is going to go one beside the previous one, which in this case still happens to be the third thread over, because we will be doing the third thread twice. So wrap it around, the red goes up, and bring the new weft over to the third blue, the white comes up, then the third light blue, the darker blue comes up, the light blue goes over to the third green, and this green goes over to the third dark green, wraps over, stays in the top bundle, and then this one we'll just put over here for now. Okay, and then if you want, you can start doing the weaving on this side. Just remember that I am showing you this in 2 steps right now, just so you can understand how the pattern is created. But once you understand that, you won't be doing it like this. You'll be doing the interlocking and weaving at the same time. So if I pull down the top, I can see that the change happened here. And we are going to want the next one, everything's going, if you look, everything's going this way. So we're going to be forming another one of these points, these red points up here. If you can see this thread that's right here, but on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to put these up again so you can see. And so again, we are going over to the third one on the underside. And this one wraps from over to under. Then you're going to go over to the third blue. You have to make sure everything's in correct order. Over to under, and it's going to lay down in the bottom row. The light blues, third one. Over to under. And then you're going to go to the third green. Over, under. Then you're going over to the third dark green, over to under, and that's going to go there, okay? All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to weave up and down, and then the second row will be complete, and I'm not going to show that part just because it'll add time. Okay, so this is the second pass, and you can already start to see that we've got the two new colors here. Then they got this light blue popping up. Then we've got the blue here, and the white here, and the red there. So that was the first row. This is the second row, and they're starting to slant this way. And this is what we end up for colors on the top of, this is the right hand side, and then the underside looks like this. If I can spread these out a little bit so you can see a bit better. Okay, so that's the bottom half on the right. This is what the bottom half on the left looks like. Actually, correction, this little guy down here is actually part of the top section. So this is what you end up on the bottom left during the second pass, and this is what you end up with on the top second pass. Okay, so when you start your third row, you're taking the 23rd string from the right on the bottom, and you're, going to do this. And the first one that you're going to wrap it around now, we've got groups of 2 now. Instead of before we were picking the third one, it is going to be the second, the second, the second. Now, but there is 2 greens here. So it'll go there. You've got the other 2 greens right here. So it's going to wrap around that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And it'll be the same on the top set. It'll be the second string. Okay, so this is what it'll look like after you get the bottom half done and you pick every second thread. Okay, so I'm just skipping ahead here, and I've done the complete third row. And I want you to notice that the patterns are the same across from each other. So the left top is the same as the bottom right. I guess what I'm trying to say is diagonally, they are mirror images of each other. So after every row, you can check that, and if they don't look mirror image, then you've done something wrong. And after the third pass, it looks like this on top. Now after the fourth pass, this is how you're going to end up with your colors here, top and bottom. Okay, so I finished doing the 4th row now, and I'm about to start the 5th row. And this is where it can get complicated because you can see a lot of different colors now, and it's hard to figure out which one you're interlocking with. So this is my center right here, and I'm going to be using this right here as the one that's going to wrap, okay? And on the bottom side, we'll be wrapping with this one, the first white to appear, then the first blue to appear, dark blue, first light blue to appear, first green to appear, and then the other green right there. So again, it'll be this first white one. I've got my camera in my other hand, so it's not going to go as smoothly here. Okay, that was the first white one. And then you're going to go the first blue one here. Then the first light blue one. Okay, and then the first green one here. Like I said, I'm doing this with my left hand right now because I'm holding the camera in the right. Okay, and then there's actually the dark green one hiding here. And this will go under here. And it's unfortunate that this color green here, I didn't have that much of. So now my string is getting really short. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the top. It's going to be the first string in each color range. And we are getting close here to returning back to our original colors. Okay, so now in the top section, I'm taking 23 from the left, which happens to be left of center here. This is 23. I'm going to put those up. And we are going to work on the top half, which again, I said was the first one. So the first white among all these whites that are showing up. Then we go to the first blue here. Okay, and it wraps around that one. then we're going to the first light blue, and it's going to wrap around, goes into the top set, and now we're looking for the first green string. Okay, so now we're looking for the first dark green here. Goes under and wraps around, goes into the top. And this one here, I'm just going to put it out of the way for now. Okay, so this should be the 5th row. Okay, I'm just going to fast forward this part here. Continue weaving on this side, and we're going to start with the pinch, scissor, pinch, scissor, pinch. Okay, so we're almost done here. This bottom part is almost returned to normal. If you'll notice, we've still got 3 green. One of these from up here is going to have to come down to here. And this top half is the same thing. Over here, we've got all of the colors back to normal, except we've only got the 3 green on the edge because there's an extra green down here that still has to come up. So it's one more round till we get back to the beginning, and it's going to be the same situation where you're going to be picking up, you're going to be interlocking with the first white string in the grouping here. If you're ever unsure of which is next, and what you can do is you can always look for where your last one was. So I can see the last one was there, so, and we're going on this angle. And here's just a shot of what it looks like underneath when you've done the crossing of the colors. And you can see that this will be the last pass before returning back to the original colors, because you can see that we're going to end up back to all the colors equal again. Okay, so there you go. We have returned back to the same colors that we started with up here on both top and bottom. Okay, so that is how you do it, and now you're just going to keep doing that again. You'll repeat another 6 rows. So now that you've seen the technique for where you're going to be doing all your interlocking, I'm just going to show you, once you become a little bit more comfortable with this, you don't have to do it in 2 steps like I was doing it for demonstrating, where I was showing you where to interlock and then we were doing the weaving. You can actually do it all in 1 step. So right now, just ignore all these sticks and I'm just pretending that I'm starting off fresh again from where the stick is here. And we're just ignoring the top part for now because I wanted to show you this. So this is obviously the part that I've got wrapped over is the top layer, and this is the bottom layer. And so you're going to go and you're going to find your 23rd, which is the middle thread in this case, because I've already done one row. So this is going to be your weft thread here. And what you can do is you can start weaving as you go. So I am going to bring these down, and I actually think that I will put these guys on this half up here, okay? Because we're only doing this half right now. Okay, so I'm not sure how good this recording is going to be because now I'm in the standing position and I think my hands are going to get in the way. But basically, if you want to do it all in one step, you're going to get your, I have to find out which is the 23rd one again. Okay, it's this one right here. Okay, this is going to be the weft, and you can go do this as you go. So you hold the weft in like one of your other fingers, okay? Whichever's comfortable. And then I'm going to start by doing a pinch, scissor, pinch, and just keep going in order, holding that weft in between. Scissor, pinch, or sorry, scissor, no, pinch, scissor, pinch. And now, when you get to the third thread on the underside, which is this one, you're going to do the wrap around, and then you can check where you're at. You just brought this upper thread down, so this one will now come up. Okay, and now you're hanging on to the white as the weaver, or sorry, as the weft. Okay, so now you look up here to see where you left off. I was just doing an upper one, so now this one's going to go down. Okay, this one, wait a minute. Yeah, this one goes down, then I got to go back here, bring one up, down, bring this one up. Right now I'm about to do, I just picked up the first one. Okay, now that one goes down. This is the second. Down. Now this is going to be the third, okay? And if, I don't know if you can see because of the way the camera is, you can see that the previous one I did was right there, okay? And then this one, you want it to be one in from that one. So I'm going to, while I'm in this position, this is a good time to always, you can always start tugging on the previous one just to help your tension, okay? And I should have done that also with the white one that we wrapped. Okay, so this wraps around and the white's going to come up to the top, and you're going to hang on to the blue one as the new weft thread. And since that one went up, this one goes down, up, down, up. That was the first blue. Here's the second blue. And we're not doing the third one from the top, we're doing the third one from the bottom. Third one wraps around, the blue comes up. This is the new weft. And I just have to check where I was. This one was up. So this one goes down. This one comes up. This one comes down. Then up. That was the first green. Second green. Here's the third green. Wraps around. You bring that one to the top. This becomes the new weft. Then you go down, up, down. Now you want the third dark green thread, so that's going to be 1, 2 from the bottom, 3 from the bottom. So this is going to wrap there and come out the side. Actually, this one goes up, that one goes down, up, down, up, and then this weaver or weft, that will go to the back. Okay, and then you can tighten this. When you're doing this side now, normally, right, I've already chosen the weft threads. I've got it over here. So normally I would be choosing the third white on top here. But that means I have to weave from left to right, which I don't find very comfortable. So how I solve that problem, for me, you can do it if you want, but I'm just going to take my work here and flip it over. So now I've flipped my work over, okay? So now this is now just like what we just did. This weft here. This used to be the top layer here, and now because I flipped it over, it's the bottom. So we are doing the exact same that we just did. So now I'll be working from the bottom, and I will be taking the third white and the third blue, etc. Okay, so I'm not going to show that again because it's just the exact same thing I did here when you flipped, but basically, you know, I'm going to start weaving. Just got to get all these threads in the correct order here. So I'll be starting with this one, going down, this one, down, and then I'll start counting to the third white. 1, 2, 3, okay, and wrap that around, and then that one's going to come up. And just like I was trying to mention, here's the previous one here. It's hard to see because the camera's not quite high enough. So I can give that a tug and it's going to help. Okay, so that is how it works. So I just wanted you to know that this is what a wool piece would look like. When you're using wool and you're actually doing it while it's hanging, you get such better result. Like, it's just so nice, the quality compared to what I'm showing you made from acrylic in the lie down position. So I really hope this video helped you, and if it did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks everyone, and take care.